Last lesson, you installed opencode. Today, a quick tour of where opencode actually puts its files on your Mac. By the end of this lesson, you'll know where opencode's binary lives, where its config lives, where its sessions live, and where its skills live. This matters for debugging, for backups, and for understanding what opencode actually does on your machine. 3 things to know about: the binary, the program itself; the config folder, settings and skills; the data folder, sessions, history, cache. All 3 live in different places. Let's tour each one. The binary. Run which opencode in your terminal. On Apple Silicon Macs, it's usually at /ops/homebrew/bin/opencode. On Intel Macs, /user/local/bin/opencode. This is the actual program that runs when you type opencode. About 50 megabytes. Don't move it, Homebrew manages it. The config folder. Path, ~/.config/opencode, inside your home directory. This is where settings, your global agents.md, and your personal skills live. Note, opencode doesn't always create this folder automatically. You might need to create it yourself before adding global agents.md or personal skills. Here's what the config folder looks like after you've used opencode for a while. Agents.md, your global memory. Settings.json, opencode settings. Skills folder, your personal skills, each in its own subfolder. Auth.json, provider credentials. And a cache folder for model responses. Most of this grows organically as you use opencode. 3 folders, 3 jobs. Binary, config, data, the data folder. Path, ~/.local/share/opencode. Stores your sessions, every conversation you've had with opencode. Stores a cache of model responses, so repeated prompts are cheaper. And can be cleared safely. Opencode recreates what it needs as needed. If opencode is acting weird, clearing the cache is a safe first troubleshooting step. The project folder. This is your folder, not opencode's. Usually your Git repository. This is where you cd into before launching opencode. Opencode writes here only when you ask it to: edit a file, create a file, run a command. Otherwise it leaves your project alone. Sometimes a project has its own .opencode folder inside it. Path, .opencode inside the project root. This holds project-specific skills and project-specific custom commands. Commit it to Git if it's shared with the team. Add to Git ignore if it's personal to you. Project folder is yours. .opencode is shared. .config is personal. Backup considerations. Backup.config/opencode, your settings, your global agents, your personal skills. Backup.local/share/opencode, your sessions, which are basically your work log. Don't backup the cache folder, opencode recreates it. The project folder is presumably already in Git. Cleaning up. Delete.local/share/opencode/cache to clear the cache, safe. Delete sessions subfolder to clear history, also safe, but you lose your session log. Do not delete .config/opencode, you'll lose your settings, skills, and credentials. To fully uninstall opencode, brew uninstall opencode. Doesn't touch the config folder, but removes the binary. If you remember one idea, 3 folders, 3 jobs. Binary, what runs when you type opencode. Config, your settings and skills, in .config. Data, sessions and cache, in .local/share. Project, your code, your rules. Knowing these locations helps you debug, backup, and understand what opencode actually does. Quick recap. The binary lives at /ops/homebrew/bin/opencode on Apple Silicon Macs. Config at ~.config/opencode. Data at ~.local/share/opencode. And the project folder is yours. Opencode only writes there when you ask. Here is your exercise. Open terminal. Type which opencode to see the binary path. Type ls/.config/opencode/ to see what's in your config folder. Type ls/.local/share/opencode/ to see the data folder. Get a feel for what's where. This will pay off later when you need to debug or backup. Coming up next, the TUI layout. We know where opencode lives on disk. Now let's look at what you actually see when you launch it. The terminal user interface has specific regions, chat area, file list, mode indicator, status line. We tour those next. 3 folders. Now you know where everything lives. Config is personal. Data is your log. Binary is just a file. Files in known places. A developer's comfort. Thanks for spending this time with me. Next, we look at the TUI layout, what you see when you launch opencode.